Alright guys, welcome back to the channel. So you guys know I always talk about people catching a lot of UFOs or UAPs on photograph, and they catch them in some of the oddest times. So you can't always get the clearest photos when you see some of this stuff, but I'm actually glad that we actually have some photos to actually show to you guys. Our people that just catch photos just periodically being out in the wilderness and stuff, and even some of the older photos. I did mention before that I do believe a lot more of the photos from the 40s, 50s, and 60s than I do some of the ones of today. Not saying that they're not real, but we know how that goes. But we know that Mexico seems to be a hotspot. We know that their government has had particular video clips that they've released to the public of showing UFOs. There's audio and stuff behind it with them speaking and talking about what they're seeing. And it's always interesting when you start doing some research for the last couple of years and you start seeing photos of things. And what I'm going to show you guys today is no exception to the rule. So this is another place over in Mexico where they actually caught some photos of a UFO, and they actually caught about, I think it's 3 or 4. And they're pretty faint, but they caught it with a pretty high resolution camera, so we're able to see it. So what I'm showing you guys here is going to be some of the original photos, and then I'll kind of zoom in on it. But you guys see that they saw something right there. Now this is a Juanito Juan, I believe his name is, that actually caught this photo. And he said he was out one morning and he saw this particular small dot in the air, so he took his photo out and took some photos of it. And he actually took, like, I think it's 3 photos I'm going to show you guys here. So as he took it, you guys can see there's 2 more objects around it. There's one in front and one in the rear there. And then this 3rd photo, you're going to actually see even more objects. Now these are actually spheres that are going to be surrounded around this UFO. And then here is another photo here. So why he didn't do a video, I don't know. He just had a high resolution camera, so I thank God that we at least got this. And then this last photo is going to be very interesting. And from this last photo that you see here, bam. So typical UFO, a flying saucer that you see there on the right, and then 3 spheres. I don't know what it was flying into, but he said in his report, or basically the information I got, I'm not going to say report, is that once he saw this and caught this last photo, they all disappeared. They were just gone. Now, looking at the original ones, and you kind of zoom in, you kind of do see from the original photo, you'll see the craft there. And it's like I said, it's kind of hard to see somewhat, but when you start to zoom in more, you'll start to see the other objects around it. And that's kind of zoomed in right there. So you can barely see it once from that photo that I have there. You try to zoom in, but you do see the 2 spheres there on the left and right of it. And then as you start to zoom in more, you can get more clarification on kind of what's going on here in this photo. There it is there. So it looks like the craft may have been circulating maybe to the right of it, and then these spheres just kind of appeared there and basically in front of it. And then for some reason, they all 3 were in front of it, and then it just kind of disappeared. So I don't know what to make of this. I'm not going to try to act like I'm an expert and I kind of know what's going on with this, because I think when it boils down to it, none of us really know, except for maybe those that are higher up that knows what's kind of going on with some of this stuff. But this photo here is pretty interesting. I mean, you can see the sun reflection on the far right, and we've seen this UFO craft shape before in previous videos that I've showed you guys. So Mexico may be a hotspot for this particular type of craft or whatever it is, because we've seen this before in several videos that I've shown. And I don't know what to make about it. It does kind of, like I said before, I hate to keep beating the dead horse, but it does kind of resemble somewhat of the sport model Bob Lazar talked about. But it's a little bit different because the sport model is kind of a little bit more rounded. But he did say he saw 9 different, UFOs in there. He said some look like a top hat, a jelly mold. So this one kind of looks more like a top hat because you can't really see anything on the bottom of it, as far as the structure is concerned. And there it is there. And you do see the sun kind of reflecting off of it. So if he went in and he kind of photoshopped this, more power to him. But I at least wanted to show this to you guys to get your opinion on it. So put down the comments below of what you guys think about this. This was shot in 2023, August 2023. So it wasn't too long ago. But put your comments down below. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and stay tuned for the next video.